People have been amazed by the stunning beauty and power of horses for hundreds of years. There are many types of horses, but some are particularly strong. Let's start a journey to find out the top 15 most powerful horses in the world. Number 15. Mustang. Born from the lineage of horses brought over by Spanish explorers, Mustangs aren't your typical wild horses. Nope, they're more like rebels, the runaways of the horse world. The name Mustang itself has this stray or ownerless vibe about it, taken from Spanish words mestengo or mesteno. It's fitting, really, for these wanderers of the vast American West. They're not the biggest horses around, standing between 14 and 15 hands high, and they weigh about as much as a grand piano, somewhere around 800 pounds. These horses are built tough, stocky, and sturdy, sporting hooves that look like they've been designed for the endurance test that is their daily life. Now, the Mustang isn't a one-color-fits-all kind of horse. Oh no, they are a vibrant mix of coat colors: bay, chestnut, black, gray, pinto, roan, and palomino. They're like the spectrum of a western sunset, each one as unique as the last. What's truly striking about Mustangs is their brains. These horses are clever, versatile, adaptable. Give them a situation, an environment, and they'll figure it out. Over the years, they've been the go-to choice for Native Americans, cowboys, ranchers, and explorers. Nowadays, you'll find them showing off in all sorts of places, from trail riding to ranch work, and even in dressage competitions. However, from hunting to poisoning, harassment to loss of habitat, they've seen some pretty rough times. Just think, back in the early 1900s, there were around 2 million Mustangs running free. Now, estimates suggest only about 30,000 are left. But here's a ray of hope. The Wild Free-Roaming Horse and Burro Act of 1971 was put in place to throw these guys a lifeline. However, it did cause the population to balloon a bit. As a result, the Bureau of Land Management has been stepping in, rounding up and adopting out Mustangs to help balance things out. Number 14. Friesian Horse. Hailing from Friesland, Friesian horses are majestic creatures with a sleek black coats, a powerful build, and a mane and tail that flow like rivers of silk. They're big, but don't let that fool you. They're as nimble as they come. Add to that a gentle, intelligent demeanor, and you've got one fantastic horse. Now, the story of the Friesian horse isn't a new one. In fact, it stretches back to the Middle Ages. Back then, knights and nobles used to ride these horses into battle. Pretty cool, right? They were also cherished for their hardiness and adaptability. Need to do some farming? Get a Friesian. Transport goods? Friesian. Need a horse for carriage driving? Again, Friesian. And it wasn't just that these horses were good for almost anything. Their characteristics influenced many other breeds too, like the Andalusian, the Morgan, and the Shire. Over the years, Friesians have evolved based on what people needed and wanted from them. Today, you'll find two main types: the Baroque type and the sport horse type. The Baroque is like the bodybuilder of the pair, robust and muscular with a shorter neck and heavier leg feathering. The sport horse type, on the other hand, is like a ballet dancer, refined, elegant, with a longer neck and less leg feathering. But no matter the type, they all share a high-stepping trot and a smooth canter. In the world of horse breeds, Friesians are like rock stars. They're show ring favorites, standing out in disciplines such as dressage, driving, saddle seat, and even jumping. But it's not all work and no play. These horses love to hit the trails for a good recreational ride and even serve in therapeutic riding programs. And let's not forget, they are affectionate companions that love to interact with people and bask in attention. Number 13. Dutch horse. Also known by their fancy names, Netherlands Trekpaard or Zeeland horse, Dutch horses are gentle giants hail from the Netherlands. The term cold-blooded isn't about their body temperature, but rather it speaks to their chill, laid-back temperament. Built like a boulder, their massive and muscular bodies are designed for the heavy-duty task of pulling things, be it plows, carts, or harrows. But don't box them in as just workhorses. They can also be ridden for leisure or even for the elegant sport of dressage. Now, the Dutch draft horse is relatively young as far as horse breeds go. These horses came into existence in the early 20th century, just after World War I. The recipe for creating this breed? It was a mix of local Zeeland mares with Belgian Brabant and Ardennes stallions. The secret ingredients they were after? Strength, stamina, and hardiness. They are like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of the horse world. Solidly built with a large head, straight profile, and perky short ears. They've got a robust, muscular chest, a powerful back end, stocky legs, feathered fetlocks, and tough feet. And they move in a relaxed, precise manner. a trait as endearing as their size. Males typically stand around 63 inches and weigh about 750 kilograms. Females, on the other hand, are a bit shorter at around 15.2 hands high and lighter, weighing in at almost 700 kilograms. And they come in a few different shades like chestnut, bay, gray, and occasionally you might spot a black one. Handling them is a breeze, and they're up for a good day's work without any fuss. Plus, they can adapt to various climates and environments. Number 11. Shire horse. The story of the Shire horse starts way back in the Middle Ages. Back then, they were the great horse, the go-to war horse, carrying knights decked out in full armor. Fast forward to the 18th century, and Dutch Friesians are introduced to the breed, adding a bit more size and power. Robert Bakewell, a renowned animal breeder, also had a hand in refining the breed, focusing on traits like the right body structure and temperament. So what makes a Shire horse stand out? It's all in their looks. They've got a bulky, muscular body with a broad chest, short back, and sloping croup. Their heads are fine with a convex profile, and they have long, arched necks. Add to that sturdy legs that end in large hooves and heavy feathering. You can find Shires in an array of colors, including black, bay, brown, gray, and chestnut, often sporting white markings on their faces and legs. Oh, and their mane and tail? They flow like the finest silk. Shire horses have a personality that matches their impressive physique. They're gentle, docile, and intelligent, always up for work. They're also known for their high-stepping action and sturdy legs and feet. Whether it's pulling heavy loads or performing under saddle or harness, they do it all with an ease that's amazing to watch. And don't worry if you're new to the world of horses. Shire horses are calm, obedient, and loyal, making them suitable for riders and owners of all experience levels. But they've faced their share of challenges, like wars, diseases, mechanization, and loss of habitat. There was a time in the 20th century when the breed's population plummeted to just a few thousand horses in the 1960s. Thankfully, thanks to the hard work and dedication of breeders and enthusiasts, these beautiful creatures have made a major comeback. Number 10. Suffolk horse. Moving on to another fascinating draft horse breed, the Suffolk horse. You might hear it referred to as the Suffolk Punch or Suffolk Sorrel too. Now, the Suffolk horse isn't a new kid on the block. Its ancestors were the medieval great horses used in war and for agriculture. One of the earliest mentions of the breed can be found in William Camden's Britannia, published in 1586. The breed's lineage has seen less mixing with other breeds, so much so that all registered Suffolk horses in Britain and North America can trace their roots back to Crisp's horse from 1768. And interestingly, a genetic study has linked the Suffolk horse closely to the Fell and Dales ponies, as well as the European Haflinger. A typical Suffolk horse stands at about 62 to 66 inches and weighs between 1,600 to 2,000 pounds. They possess a short, thick neck, a broad chest, a strong back, and sturdy legs with little or no feathering. The Suffolk horse's most striking feature is undoubtedly its chestnut coat color, or chestnut, as it's traditionally spelled. The shades vary from light to dark, but the color is always uniform and bright. White markings are pretty rare and generally undesirable, except for a small star on the forehead or a few white hairs on the lower lip. The gait of a Suffolk horse is lively and energetic, characterized by a long stride and good action. They're known as good doers, which means they can thrive on basic feed and rough pasture. In terms of temperament, they're reputed to be docile, smart, eager, and hardworking. The Suffolk horse was bred for farm work, specifically for plowing heavy clay soil. They were also exported to improve local horse stocks in other countries. Today, they're used for draft work, forestry, advertising, and recreational purposes. Number 9. Belgian Draft. Next up is the magnificent Belgian draft horse, aka the Brabant, or Trait Belge in French. They're one of the strongest horses globally, boasting a body that's all muscle, a thick neck, broad chest, and legs that scream power. The first stud book for the Belgian draft was established in 1886, and thanks to selective breeding, the breed's quality and uniformity improved. These horses soon found themselves being exported to various countries, especially America, where they took on a new identity as the American Belgian Draft. But due to different breeding objectives and environmental influences, the American Belgian Draft became its own thing, turning out taller, lighter in color, and more refined than its European cousin. So what does a Belgian Draft look like? They come in a variety of coat colors, with the most common ones being chestnut, bay, sorrel, black, or roan. You might spot white markings on their faces and legs, and their legs are short and robust with large hooves and feathering. When it comes to size, Belgian Drafts aren't playing around. Standing between 16 and 17 hands high, that's 160 to 170 centimeters, they weigh in at a hefty 1,800 to 22 pounds. But they're not just brawn. These horses also have strength, endurance, and hardiness to match their physique. They can pull heavy loads for long distances and work in harsh conditions. Plus, they've got a temperament that's calm, gentle, brave, and smart, making them easy to handle, train, and develop a bond with. Despite all the changes in farming and transportation, Belgian draft horses still find work on farms, hauling heavy loads in forestry, logging, and plowing in certain parts of Europe. And guess what? They're also used to create sport horses or warm bloods with extra power and substance. Number 8. Arabian horse. The enchanting Arabian horse is one of the oldest and most influential horse breeds globally. The Bedouin people, nomads of the desert, cherished these horses for their mix of speed, stamina, beauty, smarts, and gentleness. They're real lookers too, with their distinctive dished or concave profile, large eyes and nostrils, and petite muzzles. Throw in their arched necks, level croup, and high-carried tails, and you've got quite the equine model. Usually they come in shades of bay, black, chestnut, or gray, stand between 14 and 16 hands high, and weigh between 800 and 1,000 pounds. The history of the Arabian horse takes us all the way back to the 7th century CE. It's thought that they descended from wild horses that learned to thrive in the harsh desert climate of the Middle East. For generations, the Bedouin people selectively bred the Arabian horse, focusing on traits like endurance, bravery, loyalty, and the ability to work alongside humans. These horses were perfect for raiding and warfare, as well as trade and diplomacy. The Arabian horse left its hoofprints all around the globe, thanks to conquest, migration, and commerce. They've even left their mark on several other light horse breeds like the thoroughbred, quarter horse, Morgan, and Lipizzaner. Now, the Arabian horse is a real all-rounder when it comes to equestrian sports. They're absolute superstars in endurance riding, covering long distances over varied terrain with the least fatigue. But they don't just stop there. They're also great at dressage, show jumping, eventing, western riding, and racing. These horses are known for their spirited and alert nature, which requires riders and owners to handle them with respect and skill. But beneath all that spirit, they're friendly, quick learners, eager to please, and form strong bonds with both humans and other horses. Number 7. American Quarter. The American Quarter horse lineage is a mix of Spanish and English horses brought to the American colonies in the 1600s. These horses were bred with local breeds, like the Chickasaw horse and the Mustang, giving birth to a sturdy, shorter horse that was well adapted to the work and terrain of the American frontier. Among the early influencers of the quarter horse was a thoroughbred named Janus, who made his way to Virginia in 1756. Janus passed on his speed, sleek form, and chestnut color to his offspring. These horses soon got their reputation as quarter running horses, named so because they excelled in races less than a quarter mile. During the westward expansion in the 1800s, the quarter horse trotted into the frontier, winning over pioneers and cowboys with its endurance, intelligence, and knack for cow work. Along the way, it even picked up traits from other breeds like the Arabian, Morgan, and standard-bred horses. Today, it's the largest breed registry in the world, with almost 3 million registered American quarter horses living as of 2014. So what does an American quarter horse look like? This medium-sized horse stands anywhere between 14 and 16 hands high and weighs between 900 and 1,200 pounds. They have a refined, short head with a broad forehead and a straight or slightly concave profile. You'll find American quarter horses in various colors, but sorrel, bay, black, chestnut, dun, and buckskin are the most common. The American quarter horse isn't just a pretty face and a strong body. They're also known for their adaptability, mild temper, and ability to excel in a range of equestrian activities. Number 12. Lithuanian horse. The Lithuanian heavy draft horse were developed in the late 19th and early 20th centuries when local Jmud mares were mixed up with imported heavyweights like the Ardennes, Percheron, and Brabant. But this breed didn't have it easy. Post-World War I, they saw a drop in their numbers. Thankfully, the 1920s brought a new lease of life for these horses with new imports from the Netherlands and Sweden that helped re-establish the breed. These days, you'll find the Lithuanian heavy draft doing, well, heavy draft and farm work, of course, but they're not just hard workers. They're also pretty useful in meat production and in improving other breeds. They even had a little rendezvous with Altai horses to increase their weight, growth rate, milk yield, and their ability to thrive in harsh grazing conditions. Now, add in a high high fertility rate, and good longevity, and you've got yourself one heck of a horse breed. As for looks, well, think big, sturdy, and strong. They stand 15 to 16 hands high and tip the scales at around 850 to 920 kilograms. They come in a variety of colors: bay, chestnut, black, gray, and even roan. Their heads are well balanced with a straight profile and a solid jaw. The neck? Short, muscled, and arched. They flaunt broad and somewhat pronounced withers, while their chest is wide, deep, and buffed up. With a back that's long and straight, or sometimes a bit dipped, a rounded and well-muscled croup, and short, solid legs with sturdy joints and well-formed hooves, these horses are built like tanks. But here's the sad part. The Lithuanian heavy draft is staring down the barrel of extinction. It's believed that less than 1,000 of these horses exist today. Number 6. Percheron. Known for their intelligence, a willingness to work, and a muscular build, Percherons are quite the sight to behold. Originally bred as war horses, Percherons found new roles over time, like pulling stagecoaches and hauling heavy goods. In the 1800s, the French government saw the breed's potential and founded a national breeding farm called Le Pin, aiming to develop the breed for cavalry uses. The Percheron didn't stay confined to France, though. They were exported worldwide, particularly to the United States, where they climbed the popularity ladder to become the most sought-after draft horse breed by the early 1900s. But today, around only 2,500 Percherons are registered annually in the U.S. alone. As for their appearance, Percherons are large and powerful horses, standing anywhere between 15 to 19 hands high and weighing anywhere from 1,800 to 2,600 pounds. They've got a muscular build, a broad, flat forehead, small, upright ears, and an arched neck. With a deep and wide chest, strong, short back, clean-limbed, and well-boned legs, they are a sight of sheer strength. Their feet are large and round, and they have hard hooves. The tail is set high and carried well. While their mane and tail are usually full and long, sometimes they're cropped for practical reasons. Most Percherons sport a coat of gray or black, but you may occasionally find them in other shades like bay, chestnut, roan, and palomino. But Percherons aren't just for show. Their versatility means they're still used for draft work, like pulling carriages, sleighs, hay rides, logging equipment, and farm machinery. They're also popular for recreational riding and driving, and even show up in harness or under saddle classes at horse shows. Their calm and gentle temperament means they're a good fit for all levels of horse enthusiasts who are comfortable handling large horses. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. Before we go on, like this video, smash that subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. It's time for today's subscriber pick. One of our subscribers has sent us this image, and our jaws are still on the floor. In one of the old albums of his family, he found his great-grandpa standing in front of this gigantic horse. The horse is not only huge, but also stunning. Now, nobody in the family remembers anything about this horse, but that's where you come in. Can you help us find out more about it? What breed of horse is it? What could have been the purpose of it? And how the heck did it get so big? The answers await. Remember to comment down below with the hashtag #subscriberpick and let us know what you think. Now, on to the next topic. Number 5. Gypsy Vanner. Now we have an incredibly unique and charming horse breed, the Gypsy Vanner. So, where did the Gypsy Vanner come from? Well, they originated from the islands of Great Britain and Ireland. They have a pretty interesting history, being closely associated with the Irish travelers and English Romanical travelers. Since the 19th century, these communities used these horses to pull their vardos, or caravans. The Gypsy Vanner horse is the result of careful, selective breeding by the Gypsies using a mix of different breeds, including the Shire, Clydesdale, Dales Pony, and Fell Pony. They wanted to create a horse breed that was not only strong and smart, but also gentle and easy to train. Aesthetics were equally important, especially the horse's feathering on the lower legs and its attractive coat patterns. It's interesting to note that despite its rich history, the Gypsy Vanner horse was only recognized as a breed in 1996 when the first breed registry was established in the United States. Physically, Gypsy Vanners are hard to miss. They can vary quite a bit in height, anywhere from 50 to 64 inches, and can weigh from 1,000 to 1,700 pounds. They have broad chests, short backs, muscular necks, and refined heads with either a straight or slightly convex profile. Their manes and tails are luxurious, long, and silky, and their lower legs have beautiful feathering that cover their hooves. In terms of coat color, you'll find them most commonly in Tobiano, Skewbald, or Blagden. But the Gypsy Vanner horse isn't just a pretty face. These horses are versatile and can adapt to a variety of disciplines and environments. Whether it's for driving, riding, showing, or therapy, they're game for it all. They're great for all kinds of equestrians, beginners or advanced, and for both kids and adults. Number 4. Australian Draft. The history of the Australian draft horse goes back to the mid-19th century when different English and Flemish cart breeds were imported to Australia due to the rising demand for heavy draft work. Clydesdales were quite popular among Scottish settlers, particularly in Victoria. On the other hand, Suffolk Punches were favored in northern NSW and on the black soil country. Shires and Percherons were also introduced later, and these breeds were crossbred to produce the Australian draft horse, perfectly adapted to withstand the harsh and diverse Australian climate and conditions. It was bred to possess a good temperament and significant strength and endurance. Another interesting thing about this breed is that it's not a purebred. It's a composite breed, meaning that it can exhibit characteristics of any of its parent breeds. Talking about looks, Australian draft horses can come in a variety of colors and types. However, solid colors are generally preferred over excessive white markings on the face or body. The breed is large and muscular, with a broad chest, strong legs, and large hooves. Their heads are usually well proportioned, with a straight or slightly convex profile, alert ears, and expressive eyes. These horses usually stand anywhere from 15 to 17 hands high, and their weight can vary between 700 to 1,000 kilograms. These powerful horses were fantastic workers, handling everything from plowing and logging to hauling hefty loads. They were so reliable that they were even used in World War I and II. However, as machines and tractors became more common, the need for these strong horses lessened. The Australian draft horses' numbers started to dip, but thanks to some horse lovers, the breed was saved. They formed the Australian Draft Horse Studbook Society in 1978, promoting the breed and keeping the bloodline alive. Number 3. American Cream Draft. Now let's talk about the American Cream Draft horse. This breed is as unique as it gets, and it's one of the rarest horse breeds originating from the United States. The striking feature about the American Cream Draft is its gorgeous cream or gold champagne color, which is all thanks to the champagne gene working on a chestnut-based coat. Couple this with its pink skin, amber or hazel eyes, and a white mane and tail. This horse breed is truly a sight to behold. But there's more to the American Cream Draft than just looks. This breed is a medium-heavy draft horse, sporting a refined head, a wide chest, a short back, and some seriously well-muscled hindquarters. They're quite sizable, standing between 15 and 16.3 hands high and weighing between 1,500 and 2,000 pounds. But despite their size, they're known for their calm and willing temperament, which makes them perfect for owners who are handling draft horses for the first time. The story of the American Cream Draft horse is a fascinating one. It all started in the early 20th century with a cream-colored mare named Old Granny who was born in Iowa. She was the foundation mare of the breed, with her descendants inheriting her unique color and body build. Old Granny caught the attention of several Iowa farmers who used her and her descendants for farm work and breeding. One of those owners was Clarence T. Rearson, who was so intrigued by the cream drafts that he began acquiring more horses to build a cream herd. In fact, he even went on to found the American Cream Draft Horse Association in 1944, which established a breed standard and a registry for the cream drafts and promoted them as an American breed. Fast forward to today, the American Cream Draft is still a rare breed, with less than 500 registered horses. The breed is used for various purposes, such as carriage driving, pleasure riding, showing, logging, farming, and therapy. Number 2. Clydesdale Horse. Moving on, we have Clydesdale Horse, which hails from Scotland. The Clydesdale breed was developed from the local mares crossed with Flemish stallions that were brought over to Scotland. To give the breed even more size and power, some Shire blood was introduced a bit later on. Clydesdales were used for all sorts of heavy work, like farm labor and city work. They were often seen plowing fields, hauling heavy loads, and pulling carts and carriages. Now you might recognize the Clydesdale as the mascot of the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. They've used a team of 8 Clydesdales to pull a wagon loaded with beer barrels for advertisements and in parades, including massive events like the Super Bowl and the Tournament of Roses. Clydesdales are one of the tallest horse breeds, standing between 64 to 72 inches high. They weigh between 1,600 and 2,400 pounds on average. If you could see one up close, you'd notice they have a broad forehead, a long arched neck, a deep chest, and a muscular body. The most common coat color is bay, but black, chestnut, gray, and roan are also seen. A common and distinctive characteristic is white markings on its face and legs, and sometimes white splashes on the belly. A signature feature of the breed is the long, silky hair on its lower legs called feathering, which acts as a natural protection against mud and cold weather. But Clydesdales aren't just all about strength and beauty. They're gentle, intelligent, and willing to learn, making them an excellent choice for all levels of owners and riders. They can be trained for various activities, from riding, driving, and showing to participating in dressage, jumping, and eventing. These adaptable creatures can thrive in a variety of climates and environments. In terms of care, Clydesdales typically live for about 20 to 25 years. Number 1. Soviet Heavy Draft. Top of the list is the fascinating horse breed, the Soviet Heavy Draft. This is a Russian heavy draft horse, born out of necessity in the former Soviet Union, where there was a significant demand for sturdy horses capable of tough agricultural and industrial work. The breed we now know as the Soviet Heavy Draft owes a lot to the Belgian Brabant heavy draft breed. In 1952, after many decades of selective breeding that resulted in a robust, free-moving horse, the Soviet Heavy Draft was officially recognized and given its name. Fast forward to 1980, and the total population was around 35,000, nearly 4,000 of which were purebred. Now let's talk about what makes the Soviet Heavy Draft special. It's a large and muscular horse with a straight or slightly convex profile and a short neck. Their torso is wide and muscular, with a strong back and a sloping, muscular croup. They have a rounded abdomen, and their legs are short but sturdy, ending in broad, rounded hooves. On average, the height of the Soviet Heavy Draft is about 160 centimeters for females and 163 centimeters for males. Females typically weigh around 700 kilograms, while males are a bit heavier at 850 kilograms. Some individuals can reach up to a whopping 1,000 kilograms. Coat colors typically include bay, brown, and chestnut, and they often have white markings on the face and legs. Originally, the Soviet Heavy Draft was created for heavy draft work in agriculture and industry. However, they are also used for meat and milk production. Their fertility rate is moderately good, with 75% of mares being fertile. Moreover, their foals grow fast, reaching weights of 3,400 kilograms when weaned. In fact, the highest recorded milk yield per lactation is a whopping 6,320 kilograms. Which of these horses blew your mind? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.